Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome folks to another recording session of Mashroom ERP financial system. Today we are going to discuss how to process the whole payroll. It basically continues from going into the personnel, setup, and payroll steps. Once you press this payroll steps button, you are going to pop out with one screen having 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, as simple as that. As it explains itself, it says prepare payroll file, which is preparing the monthly payroll file for. Let's go ahead and click this and see what happens. You get another screen popped out and it says monthly process and it says 5/2015. If you notice, you are already in month of May. So we are in May 2015, so it takes the month as 5, which is May, and the year 2015. What basically it will do, it is going to create the working payroll file for all the employees which are active and listed on the school personnel master database with their financial profiles already defined. We have already discussed this in our previous videos, so I'm not going to repeat that. So let's go ahead and press process monthly payroll file. As we can see here in this sample test database, we have around 155 employees listed and they have already been taken care of. And once this starts moving, it means it's processing. Once it has reached up and stops any more change in the names of the process payroll, it means it has already completed. We will press close and we go into process payroll, which means bring changes like deductions, absence, penalties, advances, whatever you have done. You want to see how is it affecting the payroll. Let's go ahead and do that. There is a screen popped out, and as you will, it is saying current month, which is January, February, March, April, May, and so on. If you remember, we processed the payroll for the month of May. Well, let's click on that and you see automatically the moment you clicked and choose the active month of processing the payroll, all the employees have been populated in the next combo, and the moment you choose or change anything on their names, it goes and changes all the relevant financial data of each employee. So it includes their ID number, their basic salaries, house rent amounts, transportations, and so on and so forth. So if, for an example, I may go back and try to do things with January, you will see there is nothing coming out because this is not month of January and we did not prepare a working file for the month of January. We are in May and we have prepared a file for May, and this is what we have. So let's say you are going to edit any one of them and you want to deduct, let's say, a day of salary. So what you will do, you will click on edit and see this area has become active for you. By the way, you can't do anything on this area, which is allowances. It is all coming fixed from the personnel salary and allowances financial profile of each employee. You can't change anything from here during the process of the payroll. Why? For one simple reason, that possibly the person who is actually assigning the salary details with each employee is different than of the person who is actually processing the monthly payroll. So that we can have a back trail audit control system, this has been assigned in 2 different modules. So coming back to what we were doing, we wanted to deduct an absent day from one employee whose name is, let's say for the sake of example, Abdul Malik. His ID number is 3, and we want to deduct 1 day of salary out of this person. See what happens. If you try to save it, the system is going to block and say that no, you need to put some kind of description with what you have been asked to deduct for. Without getting an error, let's deduct this 1 day and put something in the description. Let's say we will say late penalty. Let's say this employee was penalized for a day's salary deduction because there was a continued attitude of coming late or whatever. I'm just putting it for the sake of argument. So after doing this, let's click save and see what happens here in the late and absent amount column. Wow. So what it did is basically it deducted 1 day salary of this person, which was something else a while ago, and now it is coming up to 4,802. If we go on and see the gross salary was, let's say, 4,962 riyals, and what we did is we deducted out of him, depending on the 31 days of salary, we got 160 riyals deducted out of him. So folks, this is how you are going to process the salary for everyone who ever has deductions. Similarly, you may wish to add something as an other allowance. So let's say 200 riyal has been given for a reward for example, honesty or something. You may do that at the same talking. See, this 200 riyal which I added on the allowances side, if you notice, this payroll is divided into two sections, allowances and deductions. So on the allowances is going to keep increasing the salary, and deductions is going to keep decreasing the salary, and that's how you will process the salary. Once you have done that, we will come back to the third area, which is called post to general ledger. We will talk about this and the other options in the next video. Thank you very much for listening and watching this video. Hope and enjoy data entry.